how I became a famous writer, with the epigraph, "Pipe dreams are good, in a way," from The Office. When you're a famous writer like me, you get asked to do all kinds of important things, such as visit your daughter's first grade class and talk about what it's like to be a famous writer. This happened at a recent career day. Most of the students seemed confused by my presence in the room. "Who you be?" one child asked. "I be Harrison," I explained. "What you got?" he asked, as though today were Contagious Disease Day and he wanted to know what sort of virus I would be distributing to the class. "I got rhythm," I said. "Also, I have pencils." I distributed my pencils, a gift of my university where I write and where I teach others to write. They liked the pencils. Some of them ate the pencils. I'd also brought many magazines in which I had stories which impressed them for about 3 seconds until they realized that they weren't allowed to eat the magazines. Then the teacher offered what I have come to expect is the standard question when I am visiting an elementary school class or a college or a community health center. "So," they always ask, "how did you become a writer?" When you reach the bare edges of literary respectability, such as I have, meaning, in my case, winning a very small prize, getting in a very small magazine, and then having an agent and a book deal and a real Manhattan editor in a real Manhattan building with real Manhattan elevators in which you are allowed to ride, but only while wearing a special badge because it's possible that you're there to murder someone, you find yourself answering this question a lot. How did you become a firefighter is a much easier question to answer, even if that profession is more heroic than my own. Google "how to be a firefighter" and you will get 14 million hits, each very specific and helpful. First, be a volunteer firefighter, one website says. Become an EMT, suggests another. It might be difficult, but it's clear. Do this, do that, and you too can fight fires. Now Google "how to become a writer," and you will get 360 million hits, and none of them will be useful. I found one site that listed exactly 210 steps to becoming a writer, including helpful information such as, while writing, drink water to avoid fatigue. This is my advice to you, students. Hydrate. When people ask this question, I guess what they're really saying is, please tell us how one goes about disappointing one's parents while also achieving poverty. And the answer is, there are many less strenuous ways to disappoint your parents, such as getting arrested or majoring in hospitality and tourism. Did you read a lot as a child? They sometimes ask. Yes, I competed in many readathons. And I very much enjoyed competitive reading or really any sort of competition that one could do on a bed. All through elementary school, I showed a keen interest in writing, which I did by hand with a pencil and paper, which I then folded and handed to girls in my class in hopes that they would bear my children. That taught me a valuable lesson for a young writer, which is that sometimes people who read your work will want to bear your children, so it's always good to carry protection, by which I mean a weapon. By junior high, I had begun writing letters to a Vietnamese pen pal named Debbie. Back in my day, before children were encouraged to send pictures of their genitalia to one another via small handheld computers, we actually took time to get real paper and draw pictures of our genitalia by hand, which we then mailed to one another via a system of wagon trains. With these letters, I also included stories about my life, which Debbie enjoyed.